Hi, I'm Coach Kell. Welcome to today's mental fitness video, part of our ongoing series in which we take a look at everyday mental challenges and discuss tools from psychology and neuroscience that can help. Today's email comes from a guy that's taking some initiative to get physically healthier and more active, but he's facing some motivation challenges after making the change a couple of weeks ago. He's doing his best to maintain a positive mindset, but it's getting harder and harder, and it feels like his positivity just isn't what it was at the start. And I certainly know that feeling myself. And so he writes, "Dear Coach Kell, after getting my yearly physical checkup, my doctor finally gave me the talk. He said I really need to start exercising regularly after seeing some different things on my recent blood test, like high cholesterol and triglycerides. I confess that I'm a bit overweight, and if I wear jeans and no shirt, I kind of look like a half-open can of biscuits." And by the way, if you want to increase your chances of getting a video made about your question, just make me die laughing in your message. That's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I decided to start running in the mornings, and it was easy to get up and get out the door the first couple of weeks, but now I'm really struggling to keep going. To get my mindset correct and get a good start with the new routine, I tried using positive self-talk like, I love to run, and running is the best thing ever, and I'm good at running. It felt like it worked at the start, but now it just doesn't feel like giving myself the reminders has any effect. I honestly feel like I will never be good at this, and making real change is impossible for me. Is there something I can do to get my enthusiasm back up? Now, this sounds like the old New Year's resolution effect, where we get motivated to make some positive changes in our lives that require some fundamental adjustment and disciplined work, but that motivation kind of fades over time until we end up right back where we were mentally on December 31st. I love that this person made a conscious effort to adopt a positive mindset. But it feels like positive mindset is a term that's been thrown around a lot, and it's essentially the title of the book that a lot of people feel was the origin of self-improvement, The Power of Positive Thinking by Napoleon Hill. Indeed, positive mindset has a significant effect on our psychology and physiology, particularly when we're setting out to do the hard work of changing our established habits and patterns, or even just interpreting and evaluating our behaviors and patterns that we have now. There were a couple of incredible studies by Dr. Crum, a Yale psychologist, that showed a significant difference in the physical effects that a change in mindset can have. And I want to emphasize, these were changes in the natural expression of hormones and peptides and neurotransmitters that resulted entirely from a change in what people believed about their behaviors with no change in the actual behaviors themselves. Now that implies something very powerful, that our beliefs have a profoundly tangible effect on our body's physical reactions to physical behaviors. Or, to put it more simply, it really is mind over matter. That's incredible if you think about it. I'll put links to those studies in the video description below. But from different areas of psychology and physiology and neurobiology, we know that our nervous systems are a little smarter than we sometimes give them credit for. Positive self-talk can be helpful, but it turns out it's only helpful when we believe what we're saying to be true. That's right. Our brains know when we are lying to ourselves. Here's what I mean. Going back to our reader, when he was setting out to make the positive change of adding a morning run to his daily routine for better health, it sounds like he was psyching himself up for the pain of the run by giving himself a lot of positive affirmations, such as, I'm good at running and I love running. I know what this is like, and I call these thoughts shoelace thoughts, because I'm usually reciting them while I'm doing the automatic muscle memory work of tying my shoes to go to the gym. Now, the positive self-talk of I love running, of course, sounds much better than the opposite, such as I hate running and I suck at running. And those are negative mindsets that will absolutely have a negative physical effect in terms of the chemicals that our bodies express in relationship to our emotions and mental state, such as a drop in motivation hormone, dopamine, and an increase in stress hormone, cortisol, among many other effects. But the natural and unfortunate reason that the typical negative mindset has the effect that it has is because, well, we tend to believe it about something we're struggling with. I'm willing to bet that while our reader is reciting his shoelace thoughts, that while he's using positive self-talk, he doesn't actually believe what he's telling himself. Telling ourselves, I love running, when we know that we don't, is trying to lie to our own brains. And our brains know the difference. Now, I can hear some of you saying now, no way, Coach Kell, fake it till you make it has always worked for me. Maybe, but in terms of psychology, that only works on other people's beliefs about us and the emotions that result in their minds not ours. Now, fake it till you make it can help influence others' beliefs. But telling yourself, I'm good at running, when you don't believe you are, will not change that belief. And then you won't get the physical effects, like increased dopamine and lower stress, that result from a meaningful mindset change. So what can be done about this? Well, if we want to believe that we're good at running, we can always track our results, maybe the time that it takes to run a mile, and look at the improvement. But that's easy if we're having no problem getting our shoes on and starting the run and making those improvements over time. That, however, is not where our viewer is having trouble. Our viewer is struggling in this very early stage, only a couple of weeks in, and he's at that all too common critical point of continuing with the healthy change or falling back into old patterns. You know, the one where you end up with a gym membership that you're paying for but not using. Don't ask me how I know about that. To solve this problem, let's look at the two different extremes of self-talk. On one side, we have, I'm good at running. Is it positive? Definitely. Do we really believe it to be true? No. So no positive physical or psychological effects happen. On the other side, we have, I suck at running. Is it positive? Definitely not. Do we believe it to be true? Good chance, yes. And since we do believe it, it will have negative physical and psychological effects. So how do we capture both, where what we tell ourselves about something we're struggling with is positive in nature, but we also believe it to be true? In one of the coolest things I think I've ever learned, you can satisfy both conditions for a positive and convinced mindset for a challenge you're having by adding one single word. Watch this. Instead of saying to ourselves, I'm not good at running, which is negative and we believe to be true, we can tell ourselves, I'm not good at running yet. Now that statement is true and undeniably positive in nature. You might even be able to physically feel the effect. And if you do, that's great because you are directly experiencing the sensations of the physical effects of mental change. The chemicals in your brain and body are shifting to a state that supports the forward pursuit of the goal and persistence through challenge. And that's where the physical sensation is coming from. You know, these physical effects are real, and sometimes they're cumulative in nature. In one of the Dr. Crum studies, the shift in belief alone changed significant physical observations in the study participants, such as an average systolic blood pressure drop of 10 points, reduced body fat, and better baseline feelings about themselves. It's truly powerful what a positive and believable mindset can do. And if you're having trouble finding one, just try adding the magic word yet to some negative belief that you might be having. Sure enough, for a lot of things in life that we're struggling with, it really is mind over matter. That's what I have for today. If you have a question about a mental challenge you're having, send me a brief email at AutonoMe with an E, Coach Kel @outlook.com, and I'll see if I can help with a video about your topic. And by the way, this specific technique of positive mindset is part of a much wider set of foundational mental fitness courses for individuals and companies that I teach. I developed these courses from various studies in high-quality, peer-reviewed academic journals. I'm a practitioner. I literally practice what I preach, and I was able to use them to reduce my ADHD medication regimen by 90% while increasing focus, mental endurance, and holistic quality of life. If these tools can help me increase my natural focus and mental fitness by that much, I'm very confident that they can help you and your team. If that sounds interesting to you, again, feel free to send me an email at autonomycoachkel@outlook.com. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.